We want to talk about how to get more support from your partner. Maybe you're feeling like your partner's not on the same page as you, or they just never do the things around the house, or they don't clean up the dishes, they don't hang out the washing, they don't clean up after themselves, or they're not supporting the family and helping with the kids or doing their bit so that it feels like you're working as a team.
We hear this so often from couples. And it was the same for us. We've been together 18 years. We've been married almost 8 years. We've got 2 kids under 5. We know what it's like. Everybody's so busy. There's so much to do. There's so much stress. We totally get it. And literally one of the number one things that our couples come to us and they argue about is cleaning. It's crazy. It's cleaning. It's cleaning the house. It's keeping the house clean. It's destroying our relationship. And it's because we have all these arguments about it because of the way we think about it and the way we're asking for support. And we were doing the same. That's why we were sharing this with you, so you don't make the same mistake and that you get the solution way faster than we did. So in the beginning, especially, we didn't notice it so much before we had kids, and you'll probably be the same. Before kids, like living together, maintaining the house, it's not as big of a deal. Prior to kids, I tended to do most of it. That's how I was brought up. So I just kind of fell into that pattern, and so many women do that. They fall into this pattern of just doing all the cleaning because their mum did, or and that was okay while we had no kids. Once and Adam tended to do like the outside stuff, and we hear this a lot from couples. Once we had kids, and even our first, like our son, after we had our son, it was still stretched us, and it still made it hard, but not hard enough. And we hear this a lot from couples. It took going to 2 kids to really stretch us, to really see the cracks of like, okay, wow, we actually,
this isn't working anymore.
This system isn't working. And won't be working for you either. That's why you're arguing about it. But it isn't necessarily that someone else needs to do more or somebody isn't doing enough. And this is where we get lost, thinking that, well, I'm doing everything. And I used to declare this all the time. It's so embarrassing thinking back. But I would literally walk around the house saying, I'm doing everything. Nobody helps me. Like, if I'm not doing it, no one does it. Like, oh God, I'm sure I'm not the only woman who's done this. But
I think that's what most of us do. It's all from the mind, and we're just looking at the strategy of like he or she's not doing their part, and this is the way to fix that is for them to do more, and for me to do less.
And literally, I thought by just doing that, walking around the house, going, "Oh, I've got so much to do, and oh, nobody's helping me," that Adam would just suddenly come and help me. And I hear this from so many women, like, I say I've got so much to do, and like I'm huffing and puffing around the house, like I'm letting them know I'm really not happy. Why don't they see that I need help? Why can't he just see that I need help? And I totally get it. Before I learned all the stuff that we now teach, I was the same. I was like, is he blind? Why can't he see? Like, I look exhausted most days. I'm running around. I'm like, I don't walk anywhere. I'm running everywhere. Like, how can't he see that I have so much to do? The truth is, they really can't see that. And it's not even coming from a place of like nastiness or not caring or not loving. And that's what your ego will tell you. But when you learn about these differences in how men and women operate, especially how we operate in the home, you realize why this happens and why we get so stuck and why cleaning becomes such a massive problem in your relationship. And that like for us, we really needed to get clear on how we both worked. So for women, you might want to write this down if you're a man or a woman. Women work in routines. So that's why a woman, like we have 2 children under 5, I can remember the routine of the whole home. There's so much emotion attached to the routine because it's my kids, it's my husband, it's the energy of the home. So I remember all those things, like, you know, we're toilet training Willow at the moment. So I remember when to put the nappy on or when to take it off, and remember to take the nappy bag and the undies and everything out with us. That's all part of a routine. I know when they have swimming in the week and when to pack the bag, when they have library, you know, it's still, don't get me wrong, it's still, like I said, Adam, it still takes me time to go, okay, what's on this week? But I'm able to break the routine down and it doesn't overwhelm me, and I'm able to remember and connect all the dots, because as a woman, everything is connected. And the routine helps us get into a flow and know what everybody needs and how to meet those needs. For men, it does not work like that. Men do
No.
not work in routines. Men find routines extremely overwhelming. Most men, obviously everyone is slightly different, but most men find the whole routine, especially if it's not just their personal routine, it's the whole family's routine, quite overwhelming and hard to keep up with.
Men really think in terms of a task. So one job, one task, we're doing the washing up. There's a start, there's an end.
Yeah.
It's a very clear process. And then once I've finished that job or that task, I can move on to the next one.
Yes. And
we don't really think about the entire week's worth of things that are going on. We're not even really thinking about the next hour. We're just in the moment doing the thing, and then we'll move on to whatever else needs to be done next.
And to men, it's really about prioritizing, because, when they were out hunting for food, it was like, I've got to conserve my energy for the priority. So it's like meeting the need of the priority.
Yeah.
And that's why they work like that. It's not because they don't care about all that other stuff, but in their mind, they're single task orientated. So it's like bring the priority to the task at hand, not the entire, all of the tasks, because that's not single focus, whereas women are multi-focus because it is all connected. One isn't right or wrong, and when you learn this and you learn how to integrate it together, which is what we teach in our programs, you can actually be a really powerful team together because two perspectives is always going to be more powerful than one, and that helps us cover more ground in our family. Adam's focus really helps so many times in our home when we're needing to get something done quickly and efficiently. My ability to kind of have scattered focus and know everything that's happening really helps support Adam when he's trying to plan when to schedule things in the week. So they can work together, but it's learning how to ask for that support in a way that your partner understands. So I no longer huff and puff around the house going, why is nobody helping me? I'm always doing everything. I don't do that anymore because I've learned this. I know if I need Adam's support, all I need to do is very clearly and specifically ask for his help, but in a way that I ask him if he can do this project for me, like mow the lawn or clean out the garage. I give him a project or a task, and one, set them up for success, one that they can achieve, because a lot of us have unrealistic expectations of like time frames and things like that, and for men that really erodes their self-worth. So a lot of women I hear, they're so frustrated. Sometimes he was in the garage, he was tinkering around, he was fixing his bike or whatever, and then it went into dinner time and and I get it, ladies, I totally get it. But from the man's perspective, what that is in order for their testosterone to be boosted and to feel like, yes, I got the task done, like, I caught the lion, like, if they were in the wild, it would be like that. They have to start it and be able to finish it. Women are, in their feminine, they're able to let go of if they're not finishing it. Because they know that everything's connected. So if I haven't finished this right now, it means I'm needed over there, I can always come back. To men, that is such a harder thing to learn, and it's something as women we can teach men, but it is a fundamental thing in men that they really like the start and end. And this is why they find parenting and being in the home that bit more challenging, because
it's more stressful for our nervous system.
And they get overwhelmed because there's so many interruptions. Like a lot of tasks don't get finished, and Adam has had to learn how to let some of those go. But in order for me to really boost his testosterone, make him feel like the hero and like, a winner in our household, I have learned to give Adam tasks that I know he can complete that definitely support me, and he wants to help me. He really does want to help me. Your partner wants to help you, but you've got to make it easy for them to help you. And how you do that is communicate in a way that they understand. And for women, it's that you need to communicate very clearly and specifically the task or the project, and it needs to have a start and an end. And they will do it. And then it's really more important than them doing it. You need to offer the praise, the appreciation, the love, genuinely, not sarcastically, on the other side, because that reinforces to them to continue to do that, and that I'm appreciated for that, so I want to do it more. And you win then. You win. You get the support you need. You're not doing everything on your own. You're allowing yourself to receive support, and that's another element we don't have time to go into today, but a lot of women can't even receive support in. They're in their masculine, doing, and they have no idea how to receive.
Yeah.
So that's another element that you have to learn. And then for men, if you need support from women, you really, you also need to communicate that.
Yeah.
And there's a different way that you can communicate that she's going to understand. And really what's really helped us is just making the time to check in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
really important.
really having those check-ins throughout the day. Like, you know, Adam will check in with me and be like, what do you need, babe? Do you need help with the kids? Or, you know, because he can't see what I need.
Yeah.
He'll check in and I'll do the same. Like, I'll check in with Adam and, you know, but women intuitively do know. Like, from my feminine, and if you're a woman, I'm sure you can relate, I can intuitively feel when something's going on for Adam. And sometimes it's not that he needs to talk about it. Sometimes it's just, and for men, they really, it's less that men need to talk about it. It's just more that they need permission to have that time for themselves. So if I feel that something's going on for Adam, I'll hug him, I'll embrace him and just say to him, hey, like, do you want to go have 10 minutes, 5 minutes? You know, I feel like something might be going on. We don't have to talk about it, but, you know, do you want to go give yourself what you need?
Yeah.
And he really appreciates that because he knows I can see and feel that something's going on.
Yeah.
He hasn't brought it to me because he's not ready to talk about it, but he still wants to feel supported in that. And another way that women often don't support men in the home or in relationships is when it comes to parenting. So men definitely find parenting harder than women because for a man, when he's triggered, it's quite like it's a natural instinct to kind of yell or shout or get bigger. And that worked in the wild, you know, catching lions and deers, doesn't work well with children.
Yeah.
But when I used to do this too, I used to like shame Adam or be like, oh, can you not yell or shout? And I'd do that in front of the kids and it would just totally just erode his self-esteem, his testosterone. You know, it would make it look like it was me and the kids against Adam. You know, it was not the right way to make him feel supported in that situation. And we teach a lot about this in our program as well. But one way that we've found is really helpful is for me to just go over to Adam and just acknowledge how he's feeling and just be like on his side. Like, I understand they're really challenging today. I know this is a lot and, you know, I'm feeling it with you. I'm here with you. You're doing great. You know, what do you need? What do you need? I'll take them. I know they're full on at the moment. What do you need? And then we can work through this together. Rather than coming in and basically controlling and pointing fingers and telling him, you shouldn't be doing this, This is what most women do. And it comes from a caring place, but it's not received like loving, caring and nurturing. It's received as criticism, controlling. It doesn't feel like support. I totally get that now. It does not feel like support to a man to just come in and like try and just take over the situation, which, you know, I can relate as a woman as well, and I'm sure you can relate. So in those situations, just really have the intention of extending support. And what does support look like? You know, support is sitting in it with your partner or your kids sometimes, sitting in the discomfort of it and not making each other wrong. So
and just circling back for a second, when you, like, this is for the women out there, when you give your partner a task to do, try not to control when it gets done. Don't say to him, I need you to do this and it needs to be done by 5 p.m. today. Because there's a difference in men and women in terms of priorities. Men, like we talked about briefly, men prioritize the things that they would have prioritized the same when they were hunting. You know, the top task that they believe is going to get them the result based on providing, because that's their number one priority. So they will think that different things are more important than you will. And that's okay. That's a difference.
Okay.
You can say, look, this is really important to me. Could you do it in the next couple of days? Or
this thing's coming up and it's got to be done by this date.
Give an idea. Be clear and specific. But don't say, I need it done. Don't put unrealistic expectations on your partner, because that's gonna make him feel like it's a burden.
And it makes him think you don't believe in him. Like, he needs to know you've got faith in him, that he can do this. And when we start controlling when it gets done, how it gets done, men need freedom. They will help and support when they feel free to support in the way that they can. And really that's true of women as well. But men really need that freedom. And so I've had to learn how to unattach from the way it looks. let those tasks be his tasks and just let him do them the way he wants to do them in the time he wants to do them, and just be happy that they got done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very masculine to be, as a woman, to be so attached in the way it looks and how it's done
and when it's
done.
Yeah.
You know, unless there is like a serious deadline, you know, you need to ask yourself, like, is this really worth it?
Yeah.
Like, fighting for it to be done in my time, is it really worth it? Like, and if it's not that important to you, let it go. That's what I do. I choose to let it go, and I choose to build love and connection. And the more that I do that, the more Adam wants to help me, and the faster he wants to do things. You know, men tend to do things slower than women. We are very different in our energy.
But the more you let go and trust your husband or your partner, the more willing they will be to help you. And then they'll actually start to anticipate when you do need help.
Yes.
Because they'll care more, and they'll know that they're going to get appreciated for the things they do.
Yeah.
Rather than being met with resentment.
Yes.
You know, you didn't do that by the time I said, and then it's just like, you know.
Yeah. I hear from men all the time, and I'm so grateful that I don't hear it from you anymore, but I used to hear it from Adam all the time. I feel like I can't please you.
Yeah.
Nothing I do ever pleases you. Like, how many times have you heard that, women? Like, I used to hear it all the time. It used to grate on me. I felt like I was ungrateful and really hard to please and all those things. But I wasn't. It's just I hadn't learnt these things. And I have not heard that for so long. I cannot remember the last time I heard that. And I'm so grateful. I'm having this moment of feeling just really grateful and seeing how far we've come.
Yeah.
But that's why men say it, because there is no freedom for how they do it.
Yeah.
There is no trust in how they do it. There's no faith in how they do it.
Yeah.
And
all men are trying too. Like,
they are.
It's in our DNA to get things done.
Yeah, they
to
want to
achieve.
please us.
They want to.
really
We
do.
want to please you. Yeah, absolutely.
They 100% do.
You've got to make it easy for your partner to please you.
Yes.
Or to succeed.
Yeah.
And that's by not controlling, not giving strict deadlines, not criticizing when he does it a different way, and just giving that freedom for him to do it his way.
Yeah, and the support will flood in. Honestly, it's so beautiful. You'll be met with so much support, and you'll feel supported. Your partner will love supporting you. You want to support them more. It's just so beautiful and powerful. And in this stressful, crazy world we live in today, we all need more support. So
we do.
Give this a go, practice it, let us know what you think. And if you've loved this, head to the comments, like, subscribe, and
there's a bunch of links down below, guys, where you can
check them out.
access all of our free stuff and even work with us if you want to work with us. So check those out, and we'll see you next time.